Hello, it's a Jiggle Wiggles here today to tell you how to set up your Live2D model on VtubeStudios. Oh, what? This is very important. The Jiggly Kitty ain't no expert on the VtubeStudios. These are simply tips that they feel may help a newbie out from a semi-newbie perspective. Please keep that in mind. Thank you! You should have a folder labeled name_VTS. In this folder, you will find 5 items. A folder holding your texture atlas, a snapshot of all the pieces of your model spread out for you, a .moc3 file, and 3 JSON files. These are all needed for your model to function properly. After installing VtubeStudios, you will go to the cogwheel, under Manage, Browse Local Files. Here, in the folder VtubeStudio Data, you will go to Streaming Assets, Live2D Models, and it is in this file that you will put the name_VTS. In this case, scintillating VTuber. Check them out if you haven't done so. You can now launch VtubeStudios. Let it load. Once in VtubeStudios, there will be a couple of pop-ups that will occur. You will read through them, and it is up to you whether or not you select Do Not Show Again, or if you are forgetful and just leave them open, that's cool too. You will, firstly, to pull in your model, go into the little person cogwheel over here, look through your things, and find your model. When you import your model, I would say go for auto setup. It will give you a number of parameters that it will set up, and here you have your model. If this is the first time you are opening VtubeStudios, your model would probably not be moving around like this. You would need to go into your settings, which is the cogwheel, the second tab, which is the camera. In webcam tracking, here you will find your choose camera. You can choose your quality tracking and tracking type. It is also prudent to toggle on the automatic cam start, which will automatically start the camera upon opening of the program, unless you would like to put this on manually every time. Under this tab, you will also find the tracking settings. There are things like model when tracking is lost, so stay at pose, back to default, webcam parameters, calculation mode, there's automatic, manual, link eye blinking, never, always. So if you would like to blink, like wink, you would select never, or when face is rotated. If you want your eyes to match up, you would select always. The blinking sensitivity is also rather important, as someone who has a more expressive face would need to put their sensitivities a bit lower. The reason being, so there are the different settings, but if I were to put it normal, my regular eyes is shook as hell. So yeah, that's fun. So for those with more expressiveness, you would put the settings lower. If you do not have the most expressive expressions, you would put it much higher. That is very important to explore on your own times. hotkey settings. So the hotkey settings would be the fourth tab on the bar under settings. You would start by going into your expression editor. For a brand new model, it would be create new expression. Here you would need to create your expression's name. In this regard, we are saying shock. Go through your parameters until you get to shock and you select it. You cannot just select it and leave it. That does not activate the parameters. You need to manually activate the parameters. You will go, after you have put in your name, say save, and you will have your new parameter here. In here you can go cancel. You would go to the add mark over here. In hotkey actions, you would put set unset expression xp3, select, put in the expression that you have created, shock, and go to your key combinations and put in your thing. There is N1, which is the top keys, and number pad 1, which is the number pad 1. Here we are putting N1, and as you can see, that activates the expressions. You can also, when creating expressions, have a lot more freedom depending on how much your model designers has put in. For example, if you go to eye open parameters, you have shook on that eye. You can put it at this selection and do the same with the other one. So match those up. Put in with mouth form. You can decide how you want your mouth to be, and you can create your very own expressions. It allows for a lot of creativity depending on I'm gonna put yick. Depending on what is available to you. So you can see here, we have this expression, and we have a more angry expression. So depending on what you have available, look through your parameters and things and experiment. It is one of the best things you can do with your model, is experiment, see what you can do, have fun with it. Customizing your model. You set up your model and want to do one of those cool reveal videos. Here's how. In the third tab of your settings, you'll find the Customize Model. Here you will go into Customize Multiple Screen Color for art meshes. Select. Important. Many artists do not want their art to be modified, and it can be considered rude to do so. If you recolor parts of your model and you don't draw it yourself, make sure that you have permission from your artist. This is very much with your artist. Before you do your reveal, if you would like to do this kind of video, just double check with them and see how it is. In this regard, we have, so if you put this, put a dark color. That doesn't really seem to do much, but there you go. So go through your things. This will be a rather tedious task. As you can see, you have to go through each individual thing and put it all together, and black out each individual piece. But you can now press OK, go back to Hotkeys, your little plus sign. Here you are going to say Art Mesh Color Preset. Here you will say record setting, put in your hotkey and save, and then you can turn it on and off depending on your reveal. Lots of fun, awesomeness. You've set up your model, but how are you going to use it in OBS? Simple. Under sources, you will go into game capture, put in the title of your game. In mode, you will go into capture specific window, VtubeStudios, and in this area it's also vital to select allow transparency. Now in OBS you are going to go to the second bubble, the picture frame, go right to the bottom and select color picker. Here you are going to make sure you have already selected allow transparency, and you are going to make sure that the allow transparency button is toggled. Once this has occurred, you will find your adorable little chibi available in the corner for you.